And welcome back to Yokai Watch. And more terror time!
Dun dun dun!
We beat Gargaros and Orkalos. Time for Orkanos, the Black Oni. And definitely the strongest boss in the entire game. This is it, folks. This is the super boss of super bosses. And we're gonna fight him head on.
It's like, fuck that, that was a preemptive strike.
Yeah,
right? It's like, unlike the other two Oni that you fought, it's like, no, I'm gonna be the one to sneak up from behind and catch him.
Well, let alone they dropped you right near him.
So,
Yeah.
Orkanos. Orkanos appears in the nightmares of lazy children and spanks them with his iron bat. The pain usually jolts them awake. So, did you do all your homework?
Nah.
Also, there's a reason why you can see he's the super boss. Look how close he was to killing Gaselius Max there.
Yeah, oh god, I know. That's like over like, what, half his health?
Here's the thing, Orkanos is very fucking fast. More often than not, he's going to be getting hits in between before all of the yokai finish doing all their shit, and he hits like a fucking truck.
Man. Well, it's a good thing that at the very least you have a yokai which has the ability to revive other yokai.
Yeah, that won't help though if Gaselius goes down and can no longer take the hits, and then Orkanos kills the reviver before he can revive. That also said, as you saw there, Orkanos' special attack is Drain. Drain is the only special attack in the game that does not have an elemental status. Therefore, nothing resists it.
Oh god.
Drain will always... Oh, I'm sorry, not Drain. Reaper, which is actually the strongest form of Drain. And it'll always be doing the most amount of damage. So...
Fear the Reaper.
So, I believe... Let me look back in my little handy-dandy guidebook. So, Orkanos obviously has the largest amount of HP in the entire game. How much HP is that, you ask? Even though no one actually asked me. I just assume everyone does. He has 9,900 HP.
Yep, that sounds
Wait! So, like, first it was 6,000 to 8,000, now to 9,900.
Which is just 9,900. Or 9,900, I should say.
Oh, okay, you know what?
Pretty much if this is the strongest boss in the game and everything, it's like, of course, let's give him max health.
He's making a giant fucking damage sponge, too. Yeah.
God, you know, I was freaking out for a second there, because it's like, I was under this mindset that his max health was like, what, 99,000 HP? But it's like, no, you specifically said 9,900, so it's like, oh, 9,000. Okay, I was gonna say.
No, that'd be some shit, though.
Yeah, it would be. It's like, it's like, why take a half hour to beat this boss, but we could go double that amount?
Oh, boy.
Probably longer.
Now, that also said, there is one other really asshole thing about Orkanos. Orkanos does have a very rare chance to drop an item. And it's an item that you need for a fusion evolution for another yokai.
Oh.
So if you want to complete the medallion, you have to keep fighting Orkanos and pray that he drops his goddamn item.
Oh my god.
And
so
as you can
wait. Oh, I'm sorry. So it was like, wait. So if you beat this Oni, and yet he doesn't drop the item,
you gotta fight him
again. You gotta reset and start again?
No, you don't have to reset. Well, save scumming could help, though, because of, like, if your yokai are all already max level like mine are, and they're still getting their asses kicked, like, it never hurts to, like, kind of save scum it. It's like, if you can predict when the next terror time will happen, it's like, just keep saving often, constantly, and then just kind of kind of just figure out when the next terror time will happen. Save before that terror time happens. You cannot save during terror time, because that'd be really cheap if you could. But like try to save before the terror time happens, and then fight Orkanos, and if he doesn't drop the item, just reset and try fighting him again. That said, however, now the blue and black Oni only show up after you defeat the red one, of course. However, there's no guarantee that they'll show up. There's only a chance of them not showing up. So you could also save scum for that. So, like, you could save scum it and then enter terror time, and if you see if it's not Orkanos, it's one of the other two, you can shut it off and try again. But generally, these two Oni will show up to avenge their comrade. So this is by far the definition of an asshole RPG thing. Wanna get a very powerful yokai and complete your bestiary? Fight the strongest goddamn boss in the game and hopes he drops the item you need for it.
See, that's the point when I say fuck you, game. Fuck you. It's not worth it.
Well, you're also not really much one for really completing bestiaries, are you, Danny?
Yeah, not really. Not if I'm not gonna get anything good out of it.
Like, I don't...
It's because I know, like, Final Fantasy games, like, especially with reports, you see this a lot in, like, classic reports. Like, you see, like Final Fantasies, like the early ones, like, prior to 7. Whenever they get reported, a lot of times they add a bestiary into there. And as far as I'm aware of, completing the bestiary doesn't really give you anything worthwhile, so it's like, well, who gives a shit if I complete it or not?
Actually, I'm trying to recall, like, didn't they kind of do something like that with, say, Final Fantasy VI?
Yeah, there's a bestiary in Final Fantasy VI.
Oh, okay, alright.
Yeah, like I said, these are reports. So this is like, like if you were to play Final Fantasy VI on, like, the Game Boy Advance, like that port, that's got the bestiary. But if you were to play the original Final Fantasy VI on the Super Nintendo, no, it will not have it.
Well,
yes, the original Final Fantasy VI on the Super Nintendo, or as they like to call it back then, Final Fantasy III.
Well, even then, like, I think the whole concept of completing your bestiary, or I guess as a more common concept that people are more familiar with, filling up your Pokédex. More often than not, you really do not get a reward. Like, I know in newer Pokemon games, you kind of do. Like, I know, at the very least, if you complete, like, that game's, like, regional decks, I don't recall if it's, I don't think it's the national, at least in Sun and Moon, I know for a fact, like, because I know in Sun and Moon, all you need to do is complete the Alolan Dex. You don't need to complete the whole deck, just the Alolan Dex. And, like, you get, like, the Oval Charm and the Shiny Charm and cool shit like that. I know, like, in older games, though, like, completing the Pokédex is really, all it gave you was a congratulations. So, it was more just bragging rights. Yeah. That is the same here in Yokai Watch for the most part.
And that's kind of what pisses me off. I mean, RPGs, naturally, you're going to spend a lot of time playing, like, whether it be just playing the main story or even doing side quests and stuff, but it's like, if you're going to go through all this trouble and, like, you're going to try and go through, like, all these extensive side quests, collect all the things and stuff, it's like, you know what, you'd better give me something worthwhile for all my trouble. I mean, it's like, how pissed off would you be, like, if you spent all the hours in Final Fantasy VII doing the Chocobo breeding to get the gold Chocobo, but there was no huge materia, out there for you to take advantage of. That would piss me off, because then it's like, well, then what was the whole point of the breeding the Chocobos? Just for shits and giggles? It's like,
the gold!
And that's where it's like, that's horseshit. It's like, the reason you do that side quest is because it gives you access to some of the best shit.
Right.
And it's like, even like doing the side quests, like for, like, ultimate weapons and everything. It's like, same way. It's like, usually getting the ultimate weapons, they usually make that to being, like, a really taxing challenge. But it's like, if it works and everything, like, if you actually feel like there's a benefit to it and everything, then I usually have no problem for it. I usually go for the ultimate weapons. Like, I think the only Final Fantasy game that I really didn't bother was Final Fantasy X. But that was because, you know, the sphere grid is so easy to fucking break and everything that it really doesn't matter, you know, if you go for the ultimate weapons or not. If you play the sphere grid right, you're still breaking damage limits and everything, even without the ultimate weapon. So it's like, and some of these ultimate weapon requirements they're like yokai. They are so obnoxiously stupid. I mean, it's like, I think it's like Tidus. Like, all the ultimate weapons in Final Fantasy X, there were 2 parts. Like, you had to get, like, 2 items in order to, like, you know, get the weapon to its ultimate power and everything. And it's like, I know, like, with Tidus, one of the requirements to getting, you know, his ultimate weapon at, like, max power, there is a Chocobo racing game in Final Fantasy X. However, to get the specific item for Tidus, you not only have to get first place in the Chocobo races, you have to cross the finish line at 0 seconds.
What?
And yeah, you're timed in these Chocobo races too, so cross the finish line when you hit 0 seconds, and that's how you get the item to power up Tidus' ultimate weapon. Fuck
How does that make any sense?
You deliberately have to slow down and manipulate the entire race, while winning, mind you. So it's
okay, it's a timed race. Okay, I thought for a second you meant like you have to win the race in 0 seconds, so just not race. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
that's like the easiest achievement ever.
Yeah, it's like you have to cross the finish line at 0 seconds and win, mind you. So it's like, yeah, fuck that noise. I'm sorry, but that is fucking horse shit.
That is horseshit.
I mean, when it's one thing to say, you know, win within, like, you know, a short amount of time. That's one thing. But when you go, like, that far and everything, that's where it's like, yeah, no. I'm sorry. It's not worth it.
But it's like, yeah, just that concept alone, that doesn't even make any sense. It's like, if you're doing a race and it hits 0 seconds, I would like to imagine if it's a timed race, once it hits 0 seconds, then that's it. It's done.
Normally, yes, but that's
I don't see how winning a race at 0 seconds will make a whole lick of sense.
It's supposed to be the whole thing like, oh, you crossed the finish line at the last minute, but it's like, again,
what minute? There's no minutes, no seconds, no anything.
It's something for like the most, like, you know, like the most obsessive compulsive completionist stuff, and it's like, I'm sorry, the vast majority of people don't have that kind of patience.
You know what? Completely understandable. I mean, my God, that is like the most precise timing I've ever heard of.
Right, and it's like I said, it's like, you know what? You can get by without that fucking requirement, because when you know how to manipulate the sphere grid, you're still breaking damage limits and shit, even without the ultimate weapon. So it's like, really, who gives a shit?
Wow.
You know,
I guess kind of going back to the whole bestiary thing too, though. It's like, here's the big thing about bestiaries. When completing bestiaries, it depends on what kind of bestiary it is. Like, if it really is just a game, a bestiary where you don't actually control the monsters, you only fight them. And then you can fill up the bestiary just by encountering them, and that's it. Like, you really should, like, if they didn't bother putting in a bestiary, there probably really should be some kind of reward for filling that up, because you don't control the monsters, you fight them. So there's the only reward you're getting for fighting the monsters are just whatever experience points or whatever you get for fighting them. That's it. In games like Pokemon or Digimon or Yokai Watch here, where, you know, there is like, you know, the Pokedex or the Medallion or whatever to fill up. Like, you don't necessarily have to fill it up. Like, yeah, Pokemon has always made its marketing by gotta catch them all, but there's nothing in the game that really forces you to do that. You only ever really need to get the ones that you want to get, and that goes for Digimon and Yokai Watch as well. And the reward for getting these super powerful yokai are the yokai or the Pokemon or whatever, are, you know, the yokai or the Pokemon themselves for you to fight with, for you, to give you an edge for stronger battles in the future, or against other people if you want to fight them. Like I mentioned before, there's a rare chance for Okanos here to drop a rare item. the rare item, you know, to fuse with another yokai to get this yokai is a very powerful yokai. Like, it's not just dropped by Arcanos for no reason. It's a very strong yokai. It's like if you have that yokai, you can, you know, that's the reward, that very strong yokai. Now, if you're only playing single player, yeah, there's no reason really for that, unless you are a completionist like myself, and you just want to complete the medallion. Otherwise, there's no reason to get this yokai, because by the time you're strong enough to fight Arcanos, you've done everything else. So the only reason to want to get this yokai aside from completionism is just to actually use it maybe to fight against friends. Like if you, like, because remember, this game does have a multiplayer function. So like that's really, and like I know Yokai 2 does do a better job about really expanding that multiplayer for the most part. Like where it really does emphasize, you know, being able to fight against your friends and such. So
Right.
that really, so yeah, for games like Pokemon or Yokai and such like that, where, you know, you have to go through these mundane tasks. It's really no different than Ultimate Weapons in RPGs like Final Fantasy and such, where you go through these really arduous tasks to end up with these weapons that'll give your characters very strong boosts. And that's kind of the same thing here, where the reward is the creature itself. Because it's a very powerful creature.
Right.
So that's kind of the case there. So yeah, there's really, overall, in games like Pokemon, there's no reason to fill out the Pokedex. At least at least in the past there wasn't. I know nowadays, yeah, there's, like I said, there's the shiny charm and such. But if you're going after specifically the shiny charm for shiny Pokemon, you're already, you know, willing to do really arduous shit, like hunting for shinies. So it's like, completing the Pokédex is very minute compared to shiny hunting. I'm sorry, but like,
man.
yeah. So like, if there's ever a bestiary where the creatures you're collecting are creatures that you actually use to fight, yeah, like Pokemon or yokai or even like Monster Hunter Stories, like that's just the big thing, motherfucker.
Oh.
That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Trying to revive, and then he sees that, and he's like, nope, no revive for you.
Yeah,
That's
but
why-
I mean, it's like I said, like, you know, usually, like, with games like that, where there's, like, so many shit, like, the arduous tasks and everything, it's like, I rarely ever go, like, completionist. The only times you'll ever really see me go full-blown completionist is, you know, one, if I feel that the rewards are really worth it, but most of all, if it's a game that I really, really enjoy. I mean, that's like, you know, I love Final Fantasy VII so much, that's why I went out of my way to complete it and everything. But it's like, you know, but if it's a game that, you know, I'm just like, on and everything, I'm not really gonna bother. But if it's a game that I really, really enjoy and everything, then it's like, yeah, I'll put the effort into it, but that's because I already enjoy the game.
Well, yeah, and that does kind of go back to just what kind of player you are in whole. God damn it!
God damn
DJ,
it!
stop sucking.
I can't. I'm not doing anything. It's my yokai doing all the fighting for me. Remember?
I mean, to be fair, this is Orceus. Am I saying his name right?
Orcanos.
Arcanos, thank you. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is Arcanos I'm talking about here, the strongest motherfucker around, alright? In this case, I can't really play BJ in this case.
Regardless, like,
What'd you call him before? Orceus?
Orceus?
Okay, yeah, that's what I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's like, apparently I am terrible with these yokai names.
For a minute, I thought you called him like Orcos or something. And I'm like, wait, isn't
Orcos?
that a Greek yogurt?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Anyways.
It's like, I'm more of a Shabani kind of guy.
But yeah, anyway, so again, it kind of goes into what kind of player you are. Like, I know for me, specifically, I love to be able to play games where I can fill these kinds of bestiaries. Like, even if there's no reward at the end, for me, there is a certain amount of satisfaction to say, yeah, I did that. Like, I was able to do it. Like, and it's not even so much a bragging right things for me. It's more of a satisfaction of the journey. Like, like, it's a personal satisfaction, I should say, for myself. Like, I love to be able to get them one by one, bit by bit, and to watch my compendium slowly fill up. And then once it's done, I feel good. I feel good about myself. Like, it's just a nice satisfying feeling. But that's just me, though.
Right.
Like, there are tons of different players, and you know what? That just goes into the whole ideology of video games as a whole. That's why there's so many different varieties of different video games. Because there's different video games for different people, and people play them differently. Like, I love to be able to complete this game, but I'm sure there are plenty of other people who play Yokai Watch who only play for the story, maybe play 1 or 2 side quests, and once they beat McCracken, they're probably just done. Like, okay, I'm done. But, like, whereas me, I like to do fucking everything in this game. Like, another example of that is, like, you know, like, my stepdad actually is a good example of this. My stepdad, not really an avid gamer, but he does play video games. Like, what he does, like, what he's been doing recently, every single night, well, maybe not every night, but majority nights, what he'll do is, he'll pop in Halo 5, I think it is. It's on Xbox One. It's a Halo game, regardless. And you know what he does? He doesn't play the campaign. He doesn't go online and play against other people. He goes into a shit, what's the mode called? It's kind of like the zombie mode in Call of Duty.
Oh, Infection?
I think, but it's in Halo, where effectively like a bunch of the mooks and Covenant and just keep coming nonstop.
Wait, oh, I'm sorry. No, you're thinking Firefight.
Firefight? Okay, yeah. You're exactly right, actually. Yeah, Firefight. He pops in Firefight. He opens up Firefight. He plays on the same exact stage. He activates the infinite ammo and whatever weapon he chooses to do, and he just goes to town. Like he doesn't care about the challenge. He doesn't care about conserving ammo or properly utilizing his supplies. He just wants to blow up aliens. That's all he wants to do. So like he'll literally he'll turn on infinite ammo, get a rocket launcher, get like the missile thing, get a sniper rifle, just whatever weapons he feels like using, and just murder aliens. And that's what he enjoys. He enjoys doing that because that's how he plays the game.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that because that's how he gets his entertainment.
Yeah. If that's what makes him enjoy the game, then by all means, go to town. Which I gotta say, when it comes to Halo 3 ODST, the Halo game that introduced Firefight, unfortunately, Firefight is the only redeeming quality of Halo 3 ODST.
Oh.
Everything else is rather meh.
Well, oh well.
Really?
I mean, me personally, it's like compared to like the very other games, even especially Halo 3, the game that apparently is supposed to branch off of. There's not really much to its story mode. However, with Firefight, that's a completely different story. Because though, yeah, I strongly agree. It's like, yeah, fighting, like, regardless of the challenge or whatever, just fighting hordes of enemies, like one wave at a time. It's just so satisfying.
Yep. So, like I said, like overall, that's just the beauty of video games and what makes them such a great art. It's their variety. Like, and that just goes back to the tastes of people as well. Like, everyone has their tastes. Like, some people love some games, some people love others. That's just the beauty of video games.
Oh, yeah.
What one person may find bullshit in a video game, someone else may find super fun.
Right. It's just one of those many cases where sometimes it's like I would see a bunch of games where it's like they look interesting enough, but they don't really, tickle my fancy or whatever. But at the same time, though, it's like at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, man, sometimes I wish I had the time to, increase my taste with more variety of video games.
Yeah. It's like that's why I'm always really skeptical to watch, reviewers or critics of movies and games, unless I can really get in. Like, if they're funny, I'll watch them. Like, obviously, like I enjoy Nostalgia Critic. I really enjoy Song Call Me Johnny, but like, they also know proper ways to really critique the stuff they do, though. Like, they're very fair about it. They go in with the mindset of, okay, I'm obviously going to put my own opinion into this, but I acknowledge that there are people that enjoy this as well, and I'm just going to point out the flaws. Oh, it's dead!
Yay! You did it.
And he didn't drop the item. Fuck!
Oh, are you serious? Oh my god. well, now what?
Well, guess we gotta fight him again.
Oh, God.
No, but first.
Alright, let's see what Whisper has to say about this Oni.
You defeated Orkanos! There must be some mistake. He was supposed to be unbeatable. But anyway, congratulations. Whisper? Are you, conspiring against me or something?
Oh, god damn it, now you're using the fast forward feature. What? Bruh.
Well, I mean, I already showed off the fight once, I mean.
Why do you do this to yourself, man?
There it is, the Holy Blade.
Holy Blade.
So with the Holy Blade in tow, bring a third Chanson, because this is Chanson's third evolution. Also, here's the fusion screen, which I never actually showed off.
Oh. Alrighty.
So fusing Chanson with the Holy Blade.
Whoa. Gleam.
Gleam! Gleam is a rank S yokai of the Brave Tribe. He is definitely one of the fastest and the hardest hitting physical attacker of the Brave Tribe. And just in general, he's very powerful. Like on par with Gilgaros, honestly. And that's just who Gleam is. Let me see what the medallion says about him, because I don't know much about him myself. Let's see. Gleam, a holy swordsman with a divine blade that cuts through evil like cheddar cheese. Could he bring about tasty world peace?
Really?
All right.
Wait, what?
He's gonna save the world through cheese.
All right.
That's like just put a cheddar cheese hat on his head.
So it's like, considering that this is like one of the hardest hitting physical attackers in the game or whatnot, it's like, would he be considered like the final? Wait, will this be considered like the final member of your party for the next part, or are you just gonna leave him be?
I just wanted them for the compendium.
Oh, okay, all right, I get you.
So with that said, everyone, we have done it. We have done everything in the game. Except get Panda Noko. God damn it.
Oh, fuck!
But however, there is still one more thing for us to do. And that's not actually in the game per se. You know how like in Pokemon, they'll do like special mystery gift events and shit like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, about a year after Yokai Watch released in America, we received 5 QR codes. When you scan those QR codes, we get access to a new event. That's what will be in for the finale of Yokai Watch, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you then.